Yo-ho, good day, and welcome home to Tanimura, where we are looking at something I accidentally failed to record. It is a ferry depot and a wave power plant placed on a quay, and I think we will get back here later this episode. I also might have added something to our forestry area. I think a few tree plantations, but it's getting dark so you can't see them really well. So, yeah. Then let's add a little bit of commercial to the town center. Because, well, it still has nothing. So, yeah, a center should at least have some commercial, and I think demand will let us right now. So, we're going for a 2x3 asset for the first one, I think. I'm thinking about this one. Will look nice next to the post office. And then two 3x3s. One of these and one of these. And let's give them some commercial zoning. Play the game and make them historical. I hope it'll look good. I think we'll check back in on it in a little bit. And first, let's do some parky stuff. So we're going to extend a park district. And it's going to be this entire area. And then through this narrow bit, although we will build commercial buildings in there, and it's also going to be over here until the bicycle path. This way I can, well, do with this what I actually intended to do, instead of having it sit right here on the road. So I'm going to pause the game again. I'm going to move this. I'm going to put it aside for a bit. Let's erase these brushy thingies. We do not need them for now. There is nothing to be decorated up for now, so let's decrease the brush strength and increase the size a little. And just start pulling this up a little bit. So now we have a nice little hill. I think I should pull it up a little more towards here. And make it slightly flatter, maybe. And now we're gonna draw a path up here. I think the one with decorations. And we're not going to use snapping for this, that will only make it harder. Of course, I put it too close to the road. And this will give us a nice little hill. And then I'm going to put this one I was going to put it over here, but for some reason it won't let me. And that's because we have no main gate yet. Okay, so let's add in a main gate over where we actually want it. And I think that will be, well, for sure on the corner near the library we want one. So that unlocks us a park plaza, info booth, park restrooms and park cafe, and a side gate. But for now it will mainly sit there to be able to do this. Then I'm going to increase the brush strength on our terrain tool again. And I'm gonna smooth out this bit a little, if it lets me. If it won't let me, it's fine too. We're going to add a little bit of decoration to this one. I'm thinking of putting a rock in the center. We will need a single brush. So a rock over here in the center. Then some little brushes around it. And this doesn't look quite right to me. So let's redo it. Also doesn't look quite right because of people hovering over it, but that will solve itself soon. Then we're gonna put this behind it. Or rather we're not going to, because that will destroy our sideline towards our disaster response unit, so I think we're going to make a nice eye-like shape out of it without taking away too much of our view lines, of our sight lines. That's the one I was looking for. While just adding a little bit niceness to the hill. So let's unpause it and also add a few flower beds to this corner, I think. That'll also make it look just a little bit nicer without disrupting any sidelines. So I'm going to use the prop line tool, makes it much easier. They will look a bit odd, it seems, because of the slope, but well, we can live with it, right? Yeah, that's getting somewhere. Let's also visit our shops again. Yeah, I think I like this. It looks decent. Nothing really special, but I think I want a shop on this corner as well. Maybe just a small 1x2 or 2x1, whichever spawns in. We will see, we will see. I think I am going to do a little detailing time lapse. Now that looks a little better again. We can start talking about adding a few extra homes to this town. So I am envisioning this neighborhood as built in two phases. The part of the left is older and the part on the right is newer, and they developed some new visions on how the neighborhood should be. But yeah, we're now continuing on the part of on the left, so it will be just as monotonous as the rest. So now that these houses are in, let's go check on our little commercial building that we got. I think this'll do for the area. Let's finish up this little corner a little, put a few fences in. Of course, make this building historical. Did I do that for these? Yes. Good, good. So let's grab our fence. And I'm just going to use the park fence for this, I think. And it won't let me. Yeah, there is a small sweet spot, but it is quite narrow, but it's in. And on this side as well, we've got a bit more space here. Maybe a few trees. Nice beach in the middle. Maybe some overgrowth. It's not an area people often come. That second one spills over too much. So let's take that one out and put the tree back in. Nice, nice. Now let's also add something to the area on the other side of this little dead-end street. I'm thinking we have a disaster response unit and an emergency shelter here. So this area might as well have an emergency broadcast tower, right? Emergency signal broadcast tower. So a short radio mast will be nice, but we don't have the money for it, so let's borrow some. And let's put it, well, let's turn it first and then put it alongside the road over here. This will give the neighborhood a nice warning signal when, or at least part of the neighborhood, a nice warning signal when a disaster hits. Then let's also dive a little into creating a ferry stop, because we have a nice ferry depot over here. And yeah, it might be nice if, ferries actually dropped off people here too. So let's delete this piece of road and see if we can add one in over here. So the small ferry stop will suffice for this area, and this will level it nice and on the key, on the same level as the road. And I think we should also upgrade this road into a normal one, because this looks a bit awkward. So that one was nice and easy. The other one will require a little bit more work. So the ferry is going to go over to this area. There will eventually be more stops, of course, but for now this area is the only place it will actually go. And we are going to terraform out a nice plateau. A bit smaller brush maybe. And we're going to choose a height right above water level. And then we're going to make this into a nice flat surface to work with. For this is going to be the area where our ferry and bus exchange stop is going to sit. I kinda think I really want a straight piece of land for this. Then add a key to it. Of course a pretty key, because maybe one with fences over here. I mean, we're not in an industrial area anymore. People might want to walk on the keys. We'll see, we'll see. So maybe I need to terraform our shoreline a little bit more, because it won't let me draw it in nice and even now. Let's see if this works. Yeah, much better. No real wonky stuff happening, except for maybe this little bit of land. And then let's go to our ferry and bus exchange stop, which costs 75,000, which is almost all we can get with borrowing money. So let's first terraform out a bit of an area for our road to sit on, because a road is going to go here from the central area. I'm thinking of extending this road downward. So let's first draw out a little plateau, maybe right around here. Then take the slope terrain tool, slope it up until here from right about here, and slope it here from at the bottom. We have a nice flat area here for a road to sit on. And now let's draw a road and see if it looks okay, or we need to do some more grading. So let's first draw it down to the key as far as possible. And does this look steep at all? No, this is okay. Yeah, this seems fine too. And then you enter into the town. This crossing is not that safe, but I think it's okay. So let's take our terraforming tool again, and well, let's choose this height for our landmass to be drawn back into. And then we are going to extend our 4-lane. Until over here. And then also it will flow straight on, but I think that will require me doing some more terraforming. So this height is quite alright actually. Let's straighten it out a bit more. And then draw in the road. I think I want a prettier bridge for this though. Let's see what we have in the bridges and piers pack. We need a 4-lane bridge. Let's see how the stone bridge looks. That looks okay, but I think now we need some more space down here. Maybe use that soften terrain tool a little here too. Now we have a nice bridge head. We can have a nice view of the bridge. We have a nice road flowing under it. And there are options for adding a pedestrian path under the bridge toward here in the future. Then let's get ourselves the money to buy our ferry and bus exchange stop. So here it is. And let's put it, well, I tried to put it parallel with the ending of the bridge. I hope it's alright. I think I need to terraform this a little bit better before I place it though. So let's remove it again, and that cost me, of course, all the money I needed. Great. Now we make sure our land near our key is high enough for our stop to sit nice and flat on, and then we will come back here a little later, suddenly having acquired the money to build it. So let's try to line it up again. And let's hope it sits nice and flat this time. I'm guessing this is the best we are going to get out of it. So we'll deal with it. And let's also add a road to it. And of course water and power right after. Well, this doesn't look quite right. Prefer to draw it out from here, I guess. And yeah, water and electricity. For now, let's just connect it in here. It's just temporary after all. Then we can also add a shipping route, a ferry pathway. So I think it's going to sit out in the river a little, and we are going to make it nice and curvy. I hope it'll let me draw it in just nice. And it seems it will, so that's great. Then let's connect this one in over here. This one over here. And this one let's for now just add it in here and be done with it. And let's draw in a ferry line for people to take from and to this unconnected stop? Yeah, great. So this is going to be connected up like this, and the other side it will connect in the future. Let's for now delete our previous ferry line. It's more of a hassle to connect to the existing one than to draw in a new one. So let's just do it like this. Back and forth. And we have our ferries. Three of them might be a little much for now. So let's cut it back to 2. A bit more cost efficient as well. And since that's in now, let's also add in a few more residences, because our residential demand is highest right now, and we have a nice bit of free space over here. And while they spawn in, let's also add some paths to it. No, I don't want to deselect grid, I want only grid. That makes it nice and easy. And now we have a nice new neighborhood, which will of course have to be made fully historical. Yeah, this is getting somewhere. Tanimura is growing, residents are moving in. We will probably need somewhere around 6,500 people to get our next milestone, so that's definitely something for a later date. But at least we now have our first transit network in, namely our ferries. We have a bus station that isn't really connected yet, but that will come in the future. I guess I do want to add some pathways to this area for now already, because, yeah, it's not really a useful ferry now, right? I think I'm going to just add a footpath under this bridge up to here. So let's take a small terrain brush and the slope tool. We are gonna choose this height and make a nice slope straight from here. And let's see how our paths will connect to this. There is a plane flying by, I hope you can't hear it, but right now I can't be bothered to stop recording. It's probably audible though. I'm sorry for it. Do I like the looks of this? I guess I do. I guess it's okay. Yeah. Maybe we should also finish up decorating this area, because I don't think anything else is going to sit here. So a few nice park fences. No snapping at all required for this. And let's just put it right over here, one over here, and a curved one as far as possible into here. Then let's not use a brush for this. Over or two, a beach, two nice green, three nice big green trees with leaves, a few smaller ones, maybe a few small bushes, some overgrowth also needs to be added in here. No one walks here, so probably won't be that well maintained either, even though it's in the town center. And maybe a rock or two. Yeah, I think we can get away with this. Maybe a little patch of overgrowth extra over here. Lastly, I think I'm going to connect our cycling network to our ferry, because, well, it would be nice to be able to take your bike to the public transport, right? So, our cycling path, straight and grid, and let's just draw it along here until here, and then take our angle tool, take off our grid tool, put this on the lowest elevation step, and let's just go up by one or two over here. Then over to here, down by 1 to here, and down the last one to here, and then connect it in. So now people can actually bike here, which should be nice. And that was it again for this episode of Tanimura. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did, even though it was a little bit of a chaotic one. The town grew enough. It's becoming quite pretty. We have transit now. Next episode we will probably be also adding buses to it, which will of course look really nice, and maybe next episode we will have a bus to follow around for our outro. Could be fun. Then, yeah, let's not plan too much ahead and say goodbye, right? Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a really, really good rest of your day. See you soon for the next episode of Tanimura.